stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Honestly, spices up the situation.
Yeah.
Please don't. Look for the time limit that goes there. Yeah.
Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Beagle,
I'm here.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Present?
Councilmember Behrman,
Present.
Councilmember Gottschall.
Here.
Councilmember Gremlin Fox,
Here.
Councilmember O'Day,
Here.
Councilmember Sharp.
President.
We have quorum.
Thank you. Changes or additions to the agenda as presented tonight. City Manager Brown.
Mayor, I do not have any changes or additions.
Assistant City Manager Benson.
I have none, sir.
Any from the dais? All right, we'll move on to approval of minutes. We got one set of minutes to approve tonight, and that's the regular City Council meeting minutes of September 23rd, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Support. Any discussion? I got a motion and a support to approve the minutes of the regular City Council meeting from September 23rd, 2025. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have no correspondence tonight, which leads us to the call to the public. I'll read the call to the public, the rules. They are as follows. The public shall address the council during the call to the public, which shall be included on the agenda immediately after correspondence and again immediately after new business. The first call to the public immediately after correspondence shall be limited to agenda items only. A person shall not address the council in excess of 5 minutes unless the time is extended by a majority vote of the council present. Persons wishing to address the council shall identify themselves and their place of residence and shall state their reason for addressing the council, and all comments by the public shall be made directly to the council. Is everybody first call to the public? Seeing none, I'll close that. Move on to city managers' reports. The first one is the fire report from August 2025. Any questions? All right. The second one is the police report from August 2025. Councilmember Gremlin Fox.
Good evening.
Hello, Chief.
Good evening.
In the past few council meetings, we've had people that have been here to talk about traffic on Charms Road, specifically the gravel haulers and the big trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually witnessed that a couple times recently, and I know there was concern about tearing up the road and different things. And these trucks, they were the big, I don't know if they were gravel haulers because they were going into the DPW, but they were the big double wide or long trucks. And not only were they going down that road, which I don't think they're supposed to, correct? Or
If they've got a delivery off
Or are
of
they-
Charms Road, then they're legal to go there. So those trucks going to the DPW yard in Spur are legal.
oh, they are. Okay.
Yes.
All right. What about the weight issues? I know we don't have a weighmaster, but how does that work?
Again, we would have to have a certified weigh master here to do it. The only one that we could call in if we had one, a real need for it, is MSP, but I'll tell you, the state police weightmasters are so tied up, they're understaffed, just like everybody else is. So our chances of getting somebody in here, now I know other departments that have weightmasters, so if we had an incident where I needed to weigh one, I could get somebody, but on a preventative patrol basis, they're just not gonna come out here.
Okay. And I have no idea how much they weighed. I do know that, I don't know. I'm guessing that they were going faster than 30 miles an hour just because I was going 30 miles an hour and they were flying by me. And I don't know what we can do, if anything. I just wanted to bring it up, and I can appreciate the couple residents that came in and talked about that.
Okay,
So,
we'll see if we can give it more extra control.
okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Yeah, living over by that entrance, I also wanted to concur with the comments from Councilwoman Gremlin Fox. I got behind one last week. He was doing 45 in one of those the tandem haulers. And then he abruptly stopped to turn left into the DPW yard. And it's more and more. Before, we used to have Sue's Landscaping and local landscapers. Now we've got so many of these haulers. I don't know if there's a way to step up a patrol.
We could make every effort to. It's manpower right now is a little bit difficult for us. We're down 2 officers, but we'll get on it in the best that we can.
Councilmember Behrman.
I've noticed an increase in those trucks as well. I actually reached out prior to the meeting today to city manager and Tim just to get the numbers of what's going to Spurt. Spurt numbers are up this year and last year. So I do think though those double trucks have something to do with the numbers being up and it not being a priority truck. Maybe it's a conversation that needs to be had with Spurt that they need to get on their drivers or we're going to get on them type thing. Because we had the dog that was killed a couple years ago, or years ago, and we've had plenty of residents coming to complain about them. And anything we can do, you know, if they're going to be bringing those big trucks in, you know, have them be respectable.
We could reach out to Spur without a problem and have a word with them about, talk to your drivers about slowing down through this neighborhood. At the very least, we can't stop them from coming in, but at least we can get them to slow down a little bit. We'll see if we can get a car up there. I mean, it's all day long, so that's the hard part about it, is they're in and out all day. And I just don't have the manpower to sign somebody there for the entire day. But we can do what we can do. We'll talk to the people at Spurt and see if we can get them to have a word with their drivers and work it that way, and then we'll get a car up there as often as we can.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the items will be removed from the consent agenda and added to the regular agenda at the end of unfinished or new business. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Support.
All right, I got a motion and support to approve the consent agenda as presented tonight. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have no unfinished business tonight, so that moves us on to new business number 1. And that's a recommendation to authorize the purchase of an Exmark Laser Z from Weingart Supply of Farmington Hills, Michigan at a cost of $15,162 with funds derived from mowing equipment account number 401-441-983.392. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Mr. Sikma.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We are recommending the purchase of an Exmark. And this is not the low bid that we are seeing here, but we feel that it's a rational decision that the added cost of buying this Exmark will be made up over the next 10 years of its anticipated lifespan here at the DPW. This is a change actually from our fleet of mowers. We've been driving Hustlers for 15 plus years, and over the last couple years we've found that the changes in the mowing in the mowers has dramatically, I guess, changed, and there's more electronics that are involved, and there's more annual changes to it. So it's not important to get six air filters and the fuel filters that initially were all the same 15 years ago. Now each year they change, so sticking with Hustler doesn't necessarily need to make sense anymore. This Exmark has proven to be a decent mower, and we feel that with Weingart's solution of being able to purchase any kind of maintenance from it, it's a good decision at this point. So that's what we're recommending.
Very good. Any questions? All right, seeing no questions, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to authorize the purchase of an Exmark Laser Z from Weingart Supply of Farmington Hills, Michigan at a cost of $15,162 with the funds derived from mowing equipment account number 401-441-983.392. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries. Thank you. Don't go too far. New business number 2 is a recommendation to award change order number 3 for the 2025 local road program for DPW parking lot and road repairs to T&M Asphalt Paving of Milford, Michigan for a total cost of $467,000 from the following accounts: Facilities Road and Roof account number 401-283-976.355. Wastewater use of capital reserve account number 590-538-960.413, and to Hubble, Roth and Clark HRC of West Bloomfield, Michigan for an additional construction engineering for a total of $40,000 split between construction engineering account number 203-554-960.391 and wastewater use of capital reserve account number 590-538-960.413. Do I have a motion?
Support.
Very good.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's
You're welcome.
wonderful. Yeah, so what we're recommending is the repaving of Howell Drive and the parking lots at the treatment plant and also DPW. We had done a little bit of concrete work along the back, the south side of the DPW drive this year, and we plan to open that up here in the next day or two. But a portion of the parking lot and then the ring road around the wastewater treatment plant, and there's a few other areas that we'd like to have repaired. So we've worked with T&M with Potter Road, as you know, and Manistee. We feel that they did an excellent job on that, and their expertise, I think we're able to get a little less inspection from HRC and feel confident that we're going to get just the quality that is there as well. So design is less too on this one. So we'd like to recommend T&M based on their proposal. And with that, I'd be open to questions.
Okay, going back to the heavy trucks and Spurt and all that.
Yep.
This is going to benefit them too. Are they contributing any to this?
So yes, as you know, they pay the city of Wixom for everything that comes in that they get paid for, and everything that goes out. Every yard that goes in, we get 50 cents a yard, and every yard that goes out is 50 cents as well. So if you see a truck going in and it is full, a lot of times right now they're running empty coming in and leaving full of soil, topsoil that's going down to Detroit. But with that, it's a $25 fee roughly for that going out of the facility.
Are we covering enough? Because they're going to benefit from the road, and those heavy trucks are going to reduce the wear of that road. So, I mean, I hate spending all this money so they can wreck it.
Right. Nope. And that's an account that we'd like to appreciate. So each year with that, we're estimating, well, this year, after the change in our contract in 2023, we feel that it's going to hit around $120,000 for the year that they've paid for, the soils, the 50 cents per yard that goes in and out of the place. That being said, we've also got. We feel that there's other advantages to having Spurt there. We have roughly 585 residents that have utilized the facilities to drop off compost each year, and we have had 188 adopt-a boxes that went out this year already. We're thinking that that's an additional $80,000 in I guess, costs that we would have to pay if we continued those services.
Yeah, savings.
So it's savings. With that and the $120,000 that we get from them for tipping fees, it's roughly $208,000 that we get each year right now from Spurt or because of Spurt with savings and the revenues that we receive.
Yeah, let's just monitor it, and like I say, if in a couple of years it's looking bad again, I think we have to do something different with that.
And the chip seal that we had on the front part of the road by Charms, it is holding up pretty well. If we wanted, or there are some concerns too with the culvert that we drive over there that would need to be replaced at some point. So we could get a discount if we don't do that this time around and wait for the culvert repair and then
for 3 months, right? The culvert repair for 3 months?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Good point. Too soon, I guess. And yes, that would be another thing. But that culvert, I do not expect to be concrete. So I would hope that we could get that completed much easier than the one just west of us here.
Very good, thanks. Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. My concern is exactly regarding, I mean, the gross vehicle weight on those tandem haulers. I mean, it's not Sue's Landscaping, it's not Priority Waste coming in with just a single truck. I mean, is there a way to put a counter on there to find out, they've got to be using it 10 times more than our own DPW, except for maybe in the winter when we got plows coming and going.
Yep.
But during the spring, summer, and fall months, 90% of that traffic is spurt, and it's
Right.
not our own DPW.
Most of the degradation of the roads occurs during the frost laws.
Right.
And what we have for that is a limit of half the weight. So it's a 13,000 pound axle weight.
But we have no idea what they actually weigh.
Right, and typically those are designed to meet the axle weights that are there. And the compost is generally a lot lighter than gravel or stone that would come through. I'm not saying that it's not a detriment to the health of our roads, but yeah, it's not as much of a concern, I guess.
And, now I see as well, Charms itself, particularly where the Norton Creek comes underneath,
Yep.
that's getting really bad again.
Yeah.
And you see these things coming down just constantly. I live near the entrance.
Yep.
So I see it just all day, in and out, in and out.
Yep.
I think we really need to think about this a little bit
Oh,
more.
for sure.
That's
Yeah,
good.
the culvert along Charms, that was relined, if you remember.
Right.
That's already 10 years ago. And we are expected to replace Charms Road, I think in the next, not this year, but the following year. So we've got that in the schedule. And maybe we watch what happens on DPW Drive to see what kind of degradation we see over the next year and a half.
It's for only $208,000 a year. I mean, this
Maybe.
is a $467,000 project, right?
Yeah,
All right,
Yep.
we need to keep that in our sights.
agreed.
Councilmember Glenn Fox?
Actually, my question was just answered. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Behrman?
Thank you for all those numbers you had, since I asked for those earlier.
Yeah. Thank you for.
I actually came and went and drove around the DPW this weekday. And I agree that all the parking lots, all the drive around the wastewater, I mean, they look bad, they need to be done. All the spurt traffic right now is actually coming in like a drive that's usually fenced off to go past wastewater because they're not driving on the new concrete. That being said, right now, more than half the traffic that's going through there is spurt, and the numbers make sense in a way, the benefit we're getting back, but long term, it doesn't make sense. We're at $500,000 for the improvements at DPW with the concrete we already did, and then the asphalt you want to do, which I agree needs to be done. Charms is going to be a very expensive project. I think the scope of Spurt's operation has drastically changed with these double haulers versus priority trucks that have been in there. Clearly, there's been a lot of pushback and feedback from residents not liking the double haulers, not liking the change in the odors. The relationship can continue to work if they're going to work with us to address our concerns and to cover our expenses. I don't think 50 cents in, 50 cents out is enough to be covering a multi-million-dollar project on Charms Road that's coming down the pipeline. I went back and looked at the contract we signed, and there's no escalation, no increase. And that really was probably poor on our part. So it's just 50 cents in, 50 cents out. So next year it's going to be 50 cents in, 50 cents out. We probably should have put an increase, a 4% increase per year in the contract. But more importantly, I think the scope of the operation has changed really in the last 2 years, switching from garbage trucks to double haulers. And the amount of the revenue that we're getting has not really increased correspondingly to that. Before the prior contract, we were only getting paid, I think 75 cents on anything coming in, nothing on anything coming out. And I think it sounded better to us at the time that we're getting paid on both ends of the spectrum, but in reality, it's a lot more that comes in, but then it composts down, and the only reason why we're making more money is because their volume has tripled. So I think this project needs to be approved, clearly. I'm fine approving this. I think with the issues we've already talked about earlier this evening with traffic, with the what's going to continue to happen to the street there, what's going to continue to happen to Charms, the contract needs to be looked at, and we need to get on a better understanding with what SPIRT is doing. Because frankly speaking, at this point, I'd almost be fine spending the 80 grand to use a different landfill to just get rid of the headache. That's my feeling, at least. I know that's not what was on the agenda this evening. The agenda is to fix your DPW drive. I'm fine with that, but I think it only needs to be fixed because of what SPIRT's doing to it right now. Because you just put their, $50,000 into it 2 years ago, and now it needs to be done more.
Councilmember Costello?
Thank you. What's there now is chip sealed, right? It's not like pavement like we will be doing. So that has a faster degradation rate, correct? In terms of timing, how long did you think it'll be up before we need to do the culvert there?
The culvert has been assessed through WRC, and I know most of the groups have been assessed for the tribute drain, and that is upstream of this, but we're thinking in the next 3 to 5 years it's going to need to be replaced.
You said we could wait to do the roads until then, or could we bump?
That's an opportunity, yes.
Could we move the road back a little bit and move that up a bit, or since it's assessed, that's set?
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do that culvert until we get Eagle involved, and that's a difficult hoop that I'm not quite ready to jump through tonight.
Okay. Yeah, what stretch of how much road would be taken out when the culvert gets redone? Like, what's the estimated cost on that?
On that piece of road?
Yeah.
50 to 80,000 for the asphalt. And then, after that, we're not saving a lot, but we're saving. And
That's covered by assessed funds though, or that's city responsibility?
This is funded through the capital plan right now. It's actually part of the DPW roof and roads. Is that what you mean?
That's what we're doing with things right now.
Right.
But if we did the roads now, need to tear it up later when we do the culvert, you said the culvert and the drains being assessed for.
Right, so it is part of the Norton Creek drain. So it would be covered under Oakland County, and very similar to how we were assessed for the sinkhole that we had on Wixom Road a while ago. So that would come out of stormwater funds.
So it wouldn't be like general funds or road funds or anything?
No, it is a stormwater fund, but I guess it still pulls out of the out of the general fund at some point.
Is that being paid back for by the assessed funds, or how, ultimately is it assessment paying for it in the end, or is it us paying to redo a road we just did?
I believe we're going to get that under an assessment from the county for that portion of the drain, yes. So at some point we'll have an increase in that.
Okay. Thank you.
Councilmember Behrman?
But the drain is just like a 100-foot section that's going to have the road.
Right.
The Howell Drive is a couple thousand feet long.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like all of Howell Drive's gonna
It's
come out?
just that
It's
culvert.
that culvert?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. That's, as long as we're not redoing the whole thing again.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All right, seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to award change order number 3 for the 2025 local road program for the DPW parking lot and road repairs to T&M Asphalt Paving of Milford, Michigan for a total of $467,000 from the following accounts: Facilities, Road, and Roof account number 401-283-976.355. Wastewater use of capital reserve account number 590-538-960.413, and to Hubble, Roth, and Clark, HRC of West Bloomfield, Michigan for an additional construction engineering for a total of $40,000 split between construction engineering account number 203-554-960.391 and wastewater use of capital reserve account number 590-538-960.413. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
And new business number 3 is a recommendation to authorize the purchase of a Thermo Fisher Scientific TrueNarc Delta handheld analyzer, including the TrueNarc Solution Kit Type H2 at a cost of $45,760 from the Thermo Fisher Scientific from the forfeiture fund expense account number 265-301-960.001. Do I have a motion?
Support.
Very good. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening again. What you have before you is a request for us to purchase kind of a new piece of equipment in the law enforcement field that's out there. A TrueNarc is a small handheld device that uses a laser to determine what illegal narcotics are. Okay? The really nice thing about it is that it can tell us what narcotics are in a bag through the bag. We don't have to touch it. Right now, the big fear that I have with our officers is if we stumble across heroin, fentanyl, or any of those types of narcotics, and they can literally kill you with just a small amount. In the current testing kits that we have to sample. We have to open them up, take a little scoop, put them in a pouch, and expose them to some chemicals to test them. The reason we have to test them is so that we can charge them. The prosecutor's office will not touch a case unless we have one of these field test kits done, or it has to be analyzed. The catch-22 we have is the labs don't want to analyze it until you have charges. So we've got to have one or the other. This is a device that our officers could use. Put the little baggie in there, shoot the laser through it. I'm simplifying. Shoot the laser through it, it'll tell you what's in there. Plain and simple. It's accepted by the prosecutor's office. It's accepted by the courts. It's enough for us to get charges, and then we have to send it off to the lab. But once we have charges, the labs are happy to analyze the narcotics for us. It's when we don't have charges, they're so busy that they kind of question, should we really be doing this? So what this does is it tells us straight out what it is. And it works on all the illicit narcotics that are out there. The H2 kit that we want with it is designed to take very, very small amounts. Just a little bit of a dust on a baggie, and that kit will allow it to be diluted enough to be able to tell us what it is. And that's all we're looking for here. The idea here is to keep our officers from having to handle these narcotics so that we can get charges on these people in the city. So that's what we're here for.
So, and it's like 30 seconds you get your results. It's real quick, yeah.
And if you've seen a PBT, it's about the same size as a PBT. So it's about, 2-3 inches. Novi has a couple of them. Our last few cases where we've suspected fentanyl, we've gone to Novi and utilized theirs. We've had about 10 or 15 cases over the past year where we probably should have. If we had this, we would have used it. I would have felt much better than our officers handling the narcotics in the police department.
Councilmember Behrman?
I guess, small thing, is this something that's going to be in the back of a car getting knocked around, or is it going to sit in the station for this kind of amount of money?
It's going to stay in the station.
Okay.
They will come in and...
Because it looked like it could go out in a car, but...
I'm hoping not, let's put it that way.
So the protocol will be bring the potential narcotic to the station, to the machine to test it, but not to take it out of the bag.
Yes.
Understood.
Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Thank you. Chief, in the brief, it said there's training for up to 12 people. Will the entire force be trained in the use of this?
I will train up to 12 users for it. I really want to have our patrol people do it, so that'll be 3 out of 4, so it'll be the officers that'll get trained in how to use it. The supervisors, I can pick up some training for them as we go on, but the officers are the ones that'll be utilizing it regularly, so the 12 spots will go to the 12 patrolmen that we have out there.
Super. And I'd like to see that we're using the forfeiture funds rather than the general funds. So.
Yes.
Great.
This is an authorized expenditure for state forfeiture.
Thank you.
Councilmember Sharp.
Thank you, Mayor. Chief Langmeyer, apparently I misread this thing. It says we're buying this type H2 sample prep, because I was kind of getting to the point where Deputy Mayor Resnick asked about all the people being trained. Typically in a business, if the more people you have handling something, the less accurate your results or repeatable your results are, because everybody has a slightly different methodology. So just to start with, I assume the prosecutor's office will take results from any trained officer. So if the officer's trained, and one officer might get a slightly different result from another officer, but basically as long as they're trained, the prosecutor will take that result.
To issue charges, that's all.
Okay, yeah.
It's not the final court here. We still
yeah, sure.
afterwards.
It could be challenged all day long by the defense attorney, I assume.
It's just enough to establish probable
Okay.
cause to keep them in custody.
But you mentioned you don't have to touch anything. I was reading the methodology for this, and maybe I'm misreading. Maybe this is how it used to be. But it says crush and mix 3 to 5 pills suspected of containing fentanyl. Scoop a small amount, equivalent to 1 grain of rice, into the vial in the type H2 kit. Shake the vial for 60 seconds. Really seemed elaborate to me for being in the back of a police car on middle of
It'll
a.
never be in the back of a police car.
Well,
So,
but
it
am
will
I
be-
reading that correctly? You said don't have to touch anything, but this looks like you do have to really get involved with
With
it.
what they're getting involved there, sounds to me like those are prescription pills, narcotics, which you can analyze and tell us what the precursors and what that is. We typically don't do that with pills. All we've got to do is enter them into Google, and it's a blue pill with 1, 2, 3 typing, and it'll tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
We don't necessarily get into that. We're talking about small glassine envelopes, the little Ziplocs that you're finding on the side of the road. Those types of things are what we're analyzing there. The H2 kit is supposed to enable us to take very, very minute amounts and analyze them. We may have to handle that a little bit, but it's not a block of powder that they're analyzing.
Okay, so the H2 kit, as I'm reading this, I'm picturing a device, and usually you have a piece of hardware and then kind of a piece of software, and that's kind of what the chemicals are. The H2 kit would be the tool to actually perform the analysis, mix up the solution, so to speak, and have the analyzer check the spectrography of what's in there. Are there 2 different things we're buying here? We're buying the hardware, and it will do the bags, and then there's also the chemical solutions that do the pills, something a little more.
Yeah, it's 2 things. The H2 kit is meant for very, very small amounts. So then you can mix them with these other things and be able to analyze that amount.
Okay.
But the normal TrueNarc device, if you've got enough there, you can analyze that right through the bag and it'll
Okay.
tell you what it is.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Brown Fox.
I support the purchase, and I too wanted to just thank you and staff for having that come out of forfeiture funds.
Any other questions? Any other discussion? Very good. I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to authorize the purchase of a Thermo Fisher Scientific TrueNarc Delta handheld analyzer, including the TrueNarc Solution Kit Type H2 at a cost of $45,760 from the Thermo Fisher Scientific from forfeiture operating expense account number 265-301-960.001. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. And that concludes the new business portion of the meeting tonight. We'll move on to the second call to the public. I will not read those rules except for you may get up and speak whatever's on your mind. Do we have anybody who would like to speak at the second call to the public? Nope. All right. Very good. I'll close that. City Manager comments. City Manager Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor. The city manager update, we had a couple of things in there. There was just a couple of nice stories about coordination between the city DDA and the Michigan Airline Trail vis-a-vis the block party event that the Michigan Airline Trail took advantage of and managed to get some public outreach done and get some information for people about what they want to see. The other piece was related to the DPW doing some great work with our partners on the Michigan Airline Trail, Commerce Township. They had a welcome boulder that was 3 tons, which had a lot of logistical challenges, I have to tell you. Yeah, Tim shakes his head on that one. It was more than a little bit interesting to get that taken care of. The DPW did a great job of preparing that boulder and placing the signs on there. We provided a document that was attached to the city manager update that kind of detailed those two situations. And just point out, like that counter, another tool, a recent add to the trail, which was covered in an addendum that was put in with the city's application to the state to become a pure Michigan trail for the entire Michigan Airline Trail. And you'll look, picture at the top shows what a typical count is on a typical day of about 26 pedestrians. And if you look in the bottom right corner, that was on September 20th, the day of the block party, that had a count of 481. So that just was reflective of a lot of people stopping by their spot because of the block party. And then the picture of the boulders on the back with our DPW guys that did the work being part of the picture there on the right as well on the back page. So just congratulations and thank you to the DPW for the great work they did there, and also to the DDA for the kind of the synergy they created with our Michigan Airline Trail Manager, John Hensler. And that's all I had.
Very good. Assistant City Manager Benson, anything?
I have no additional comments.
Very good. We'll move on to council comments. Councilmember Sharp.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing from me tonight.
Very good. Councilmember Behrman.
The only thing I would just, if we could get some sort of feedback or memo within the next couple months regarding the increased change in traffic and whether or not city manager's office thinks we should look at adjusting the contract to at least have some increases with Spurt. I just don't want to forget about it until, the next time we have to fix the road.
Councilmember Gotcha.
Thank you. I wanted to thank the fire department for a great open house. A lot of families and people stopping by. I know it's always a great time for kids to see what firefighters get to do, even if one of them told you he wants to be a police officer while he was there. Trying to start some beef in the middle row there. So, and also, even though the Parks and Rec team isn't here, a great Panther hunt. It's always fun to see all the kids dressed up and walking through, getting pumpkins and everything like that. So, great day. Thank you.
Councilmember O'Day.
Thank you. Just that I noticed on Facebook, so just wanted to again thank the DDA for all their work, and with the alley, because it looks like it's being utilized as intended. It looks like homecoming pictures were taken there for some kids, and it's just a nice way to get people out and have some nice scenery that also showcases our downtown. So thank you to them.
Councilmember Granlund Fox.
For the city manager or assistant city manager, could you give us an update, if you have one, on the GLWA, the water issue, and then on any information you've gathered regarding the reverse 911 or communication tool?
Yeah, real quickly on that, checked in with the DPW today. While there was technically an update that was provided through the Great Lakes Water Authority, really amounted to not very much. There was basically status quo, no real update in terms of the timing. The projected timing for the ultimate repair, restoration to service of the 42-inch water main was at the point in time it was given was X number of days, and that landed on either October 14th through October 16th. That's the current, still the current estimate to my knowledge, but it is going to get pushed back inevitably because they're adding additional work to other sections of the pipe. So we're just waiting for that detail. The update today did not provide any new information beyond what we already knew. So we did do a Facebook post on it, but we did not do the rest of it in terms of providing an update as a news item. I didn't really think it was particularly newsworthy. So we will see what happens. We might get an update in the next 24 to 36 hours. I have no idea, but we're hopeful that we will shortly. As I mentioned, the current time frame is either tomorrow the 14th or through the 16th. So there's no new information there. In regards to what you referred to as reverse 911, we're looking at mass notification options to increase our reach. We have an existing solution that we use for the weekly information pieces that get put out, the e-notifications on the website. It's called Gov Delivery. We checked in with them about an SMS or text message addition to that. We currently obtain that Gov Delivery service through the county on a no-fee basis because the county has a package that they've already paid for that we can piggyback under, if you will. Bad word, piggyback on, I suppose. But if we switch to something that adds the function of SMS messages or texting, that kind of capability, we'd start to pay for it. So we got a proposal from them on that front. One of the primary players in the mass notification program business is Code Red. We have a proposal from them as well and a demo scheduled for tomorrow to see what they can do. It looks to be that the Code Red solution is more robust than Gov Delivery, and the pricing might be more advantageous as well. We'll see. And then we're going to look at other alternatives as well. There's Nixle, Civitas, I think, is another one that the deputy mayor has mentioned. There are others in the field that I'm aware of, and we're going to try to reach out and get pricing information from them, and then we'd probably bring something back to council about adding to our reach by using something that would allow text messaging. With the Code Red solution, they basically estimated that they'd be able to provide us 10,000 numbers, which would be a big increase in our reach in terms of the number of people that we could reach, as well as the immediacy of what we could do in terms of communicating with people. So we're very interested in it. The pricing looks attractive, and we'll probably bring something to council as soon as the next council meeting to take a look at for some decision making.
Great. Thank you for the update.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Deputy Mayor Resnick.
No real comments, but I do have a question. Do we get any update from RCOC on Pontiac Trail opening, or is it still nebulous?
Well, I like that. Just
More than
everybody's pointing fingers like you take it. No, you take it. No,
I'm just going to hear it from somebody else. It's going to be the same answer.
Same answer, different day. Yeah, I visited there today, and they have finished the concrete on the culvert. They've done some of the curb and gutter that is there. They're hoping to finish up the curb and gutter this week, and maybe be paving next week. So within the next week and a half, we're hoping to see some
maybe,
light at that end.
Maybe by November is what you're saying.
So that would be, that's the 21st, so the week of the 20th there. So this following next week.
I sent a note to our commissioner and showed him 3 days in a row where all the equipment was just sitting there idle.
Yeah.
So I don't know what.
So some of that, I guess there were, I think he said 10 different pours of concrete for that. So each one of those pours has to cure for a certain amount of time before they're able to go to the next spot and that kind of thing. So they were preparing on both sides, if you will, at the same time. So they pour on this side and pour over here. Then they ended up connecting in the middle is what they were explaining to me. So there was, a number of different things that, they didn't expect, with making sure that they didn't break our water main that's there or the sewer that's there. They did a lot of sonic penetration radar type things to make sure that the integrity of that remained good. And so there were some other hoops that they did have to jump through, but what are they off now? About 3 weeks from what they had expected?
So to put a finer point on something, the deputy mayor mentioned the end November date. That's not anything that I've heard mentioned from
no, I think it's
RCOC.
End of October.
Yeah, it should be by the end of October. So the week of the 20th was the original estimate, and We're not looking at a November month, we're looking at a late October month. That's still the game plan.
All right, thank you.
All right, and I also want to thank the Parks and Rec for putting on a great panther hunt again this year and allowing me to take part. And also thank you to the fire department for their open house and allowing me to burn some hot dogs and hamburgers again this year. I had a good time, and it was fun seeing all the, junior, as I'll call them, junior firefighters running around doing stuff. And I did stick up for the fire department too, but I won't tell that story on air. But I stuck up for those guys. And so with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Support.
We got a motion and a support to adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.